What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Goku Runner Talks Tuesday. Today, we're going to talk about a guy that I've talked about before, Matt Choi, and his decisions and what he does for his marathons. Not that it matters to anybody, but he's affecting other runners when he runs these races, and that's not cool. Disrespect to the running, disrespect to the running community, and we'll also talk about my training as well. So let's get into this Goku Runner Talks Tuesday. So first off, let's get into the question of the day, and that is going to be a question someone asked me earlier. The question is, what do you listen to on your long runs? Like, I know some people don't like to listen to music. They like to zone out. They like to be in their own thoughts and work things out. It's their therapy session. And for a lot of times it is for me as well. But for me, I like to listen when I am doing like this long run, especially I'm doing the long, slow run, especially for this ultra marathon training for the 100-mile at Rocky Raccoon. I like to listen to podcast. I like to listen to music sometimes, but mainly podcast. And somebody suggested that I should listen to like a comedy show on Netflix, which I feel like it would drain my battery faster if I actually did that. But let me know in the comments, what do you listen to on your long runs, or if you even listen to anything on your long runs? So those are my things. I listen to podcasts, music, and yeah, some of that stuff. So let me know. Let's get to the main topic of this Go Corner Talks Tuesday. The New York Marathon just happened, and I had some friends that did it, and they did well. And I was actually just checking my comment section on YouTube, and somebody commented on my old Matt Choi video where I was talking about him banditing the Houston Marathon, because he also did that. Said he didn't know that that was not legal. It wasn't cool to do that. And somebody said he's at it again. I was like, what is going on with Matt Choi? Because I unfollowed him from everything, all the socials. I don't want to see anything about him because I'm just not a big fan of the guy. Like, I feel like his way of promoting running is not good. And I know a lot of people love him, and there was a lot of hate from me about me from that last video. I'm sure there'll be hate on this video too, but Matt Choi is just not the guy for me. And what did he do this time? Matt Choi, he got banned from the New York Marathon because he had a whole film crew at his race. He had two guys on an e-bike filming his entire 26.2 mile race, which, I film 100% of my races. Whenever I'm at a race, I'm filming myself. Nobody else is filming me. It's just me filming myself. And do I film all 26.2 miles? Do I need to have somebody film me for 26.2 miles? No, I don't even, my battery won't even last that long. So I'm only filming probably 10% of my race. And that gets a good story for everybody to share, for me to share to y'all. It gets the point across. And I'm not disturbing any other runners with what I'm doing. I have a selfie stick. I make sure it's pointed, away from me, away from other runners. I'm not trying to, get I do get behind the like behind me shots with my selfie stick, but I'm doing that at a point of the race where there's a lot of space available for me to do that. And for him to bring two cameras out, two e-bikes during the biggest marathon in the world, so I think 60,000 plus run that race, is pretty ridiculous. Like, you don't need to film 100% of your race. Like, if you have a film crew, have them set out at different points of the race, like at mile 2, 5, 7. If you want to do every 2 miles and have them film that portion of your race, that's fine. Like, they don't need to be running next to you, especially if they're not registered. But and he's also filming with like huge cameras too. Like, I feel like you don't need to be filming with the highest quality things. And, I think one thing that I did read about him and what he said himself is that he's not a runner. He is a content creator. Well, he's not a runner first. He's a content creator first. So he's trying to create the content in order, to get his 400,000, Instagram subscribers or Instagram followers, and 400,000 TikTok followers and all that, which, kudos to that guy for doing what he's doing, but the way that he's going about it is the wrong way. Even the Ginger Runner, which is probably the OG YouTuber, he called them out too, and he said that brands should not be, having this guy as their brand ambassador. Like, it's not a good look if you're stealing bibs, if you're stealing races, if you're having the film crew, like he had a film crew in Austin, he got called out for that too, and then he didn't care. He's over at New York doing the same thing, and there are film crews for the elites, but the elites, they don't have anybody around them. Like the elites, there is like they are so fast. There's nobody around them, so there is a film crew filming the front of them, maybe the back of them, but it's not in between 100 people that you're trying to squeeze through a narrow portion of the New York City Marathon to do that race and try to film them. So it's just disrespectful to running. It's disrespectful to the other runners around him, and it's just not a cool thing. Man, I'm not a big fan of Matt Choi, as you could tell, and it's disappointing that he's done it. And he got banned from New York City road racing, so he can't run any of those races unless he could appeal it. But let's get it to the comment section right here. So let's see. Scott Lapointe, he says he comes across arrogant to me. Yeah, if you see his content, he is like a bro runner. Like, I feel like that's what he's all about. It's all about content that's recycled, which I do some recycled content myself, but it's those things are okay, which could be that's how you get popular on TikTok, recycling old stuff. This is how you run, this is how you do this, these are the 5 tips to do this on TikTok, Instagram, which I try to do for a little bit, but that's not the content I like to make. But that's how he got big, and it's just not for me. Scott Point says, I listen to nothing headphones free 95% of the time. Yeah, I used to do that a lot, but when I did my 100 miler, 100K, whenever it gets to those long, boring parts where there's nobody around you, it's just you and your thoughts of like DNF, DNF, DNF. I need something to take my mind away from my own mind. So that's why I listen to podcast or music whenever I do get at those low points at a race where I'm wearing like headphones that I can hear my surroundings, because I don't want to disrupt any other runners when I'm out there, unlike Matt Choi. Kevin Hultgren says, I feel that if you do that, you should get permission from the race organizers. Apparently for the Austin Marathon, he did get permission, but at the same time, I'm a race director myself. I don't think I want to have like bikes along the course, especially if you're not the fastest. Like if you're the fastest guy, if you're number 1, number 2, like the last race I was filming, I was filming the first and second place runners, because the third and fourth place runners were like 2-3 minutes away. Like there's a big gap. So me filming right next to them did not impede any runners. But if you are mid pack, which for the New York Marathon, I think he ran a 2:56, which is fast, but you're still in a big pack of people. You're disrupting other runners. Like, who is texting me? That's getting annoying. But you can 1 second. I'm going to turn that off because that's annoying. Sorry. So if you're at that point where you're a 2:56 marathoner, you're still going to impede runners. In fact, when he was at that race, some runners said that the bikes prevented them from getting hydration. It prevented them from, moving forward. Like the bikes hit another runner too. So you don't need bikes next to you during the race. Just film yourself like every other person. Like you don't need the highest quality of quality, which I'm sure is good for Instagram, good for YouTube. But that's why I decided to film with my Insta360. Insta360 is the quality of that camera is not the highest quality that you can get. Like the GoPro is a little better, but Insta360, I put it up ahead of me. It's away from everybody else. It's not impeding anybody. And it's just a better way to film yourself. If you're going to film yourself, don't be like the person that's like, look at me. Like, I feel like that's really what he's doing when he has 2 bicycles filming his whole freaking 26.2 miles. Like I said, nobody's gonna watch, 2 hours and 56 minutes of a whole race. I mean, they might, but do you need that? You don't need the whole story. You need to get certain points of a story and film that to be able to share your story. Like it's just not necessary for him to be filming 26.2 miles of this race, especially at the New York Marathon. So I'm not a big fan of him. There's other influencers too who've said stuff against him. I was looking. I just happened to look at what is it? The Instagram, like Twitter, whatever that was, and a lot of people were saying things. Let's actually read a few of those things, because I'm sure if I open it up, we're gonna see a few of them. So let's see what other people have said about this. Let's see. I know there's something else going on, but we're not going to talk about anything political. We'll talk about this right now. So this one is Ashley Mateo. She says Matt Choi has been disqualified from the New York City Marathon and has been banned from any future New York road races in future. This is the correct response by the New York road runners. And people are commenting. What are they saying? Do you think the majors will step in with blocking him from other races? Maybe. I just don't think that it's cool to film your whole race like that. I can't really find too many other. Here's another one. I've seen several friends talking about a certain influencer bringing a whole production crew to New York City Marathon. To be completely honest with you, I've seen that guy doing the same crap over and over again. Just bad and unethical stuff for the sport. But hey, no one's doing anything. I even have friends supporting him, probably for clout. So my point is, the higher authorities won't do anything as long as these other people cheer him on. Unfollow, don't share his stuff. Period. Which I am giving him a little bit of, I'm talking about him right now, which maybe that's what he wants, because as they say, no bad press is better than no press at all. So everybody's talking about Matt Choi now. He's on Runner's World. He's on everything. Let's just read what Ethan Newberry said about him, because Ethan Newberry is the godfather of running, like of running YouTubers, of influencers, I believe, because he was doing it back in 2010. That's what inspired me to make all my videos. And yeah, let's see. Newberry. Or he might be Ginger Runner. I don't know what he is over here. Ethan Newberry. No, sorry. I'll find Ginger Runner. Oh, there. I just found him. Ethan Newberry. As you can tell, I'm pretty annoyed by him. I know a lot of other people are annoyed by the fact that what he did is pretty bad. Let's see the comments. Kevin Holtgren says e-bikes seem really dangerous on a race course. I'd be pissed if they got in my way. Yeah, like if you are blocking off another runner from anything, like if they're trying to get around the bikes, if they're trying to get around you, imagine being on the side and you can't see your family, or you can't see somebody just because these e-bikes are in the way. It's just ridiculous. Man, I can't find every time I do that. Ginger Runner. Come on, man. I'm gonna tell you. I want to share his thing. So here it is, right here. Here it is. This is Ethan Newberry. I've been documenting my marathons, ultras, and other races for over 15 years. Something I've learned is that documenting your races isn't more important than the other runners' experience happening around you. So, and he says, if you're a brand or a race that wants to collab, harness the power of a creator's audience. Know the creator that you're partnering with. Make sure all your values align and the record, not just their follower accounts. I feel bad for the race directors who get taken advantage of, and the fellow runners whose dream races get tasted ruined by someone else's ego. Yeah. So as you can tell, I'm not the only one not happy about it. And Scott LaPointe says right there, he will make a sad apology video, blah, blah, and people will still love him. People will still follow him. But for me, I've unfollowed him, and hopefully I don't hear anything else about him, because the only time I hear anything about Matt Choi is whenever he does stupid things like this. Like he goes bandit a race. He's doing other things like that. Stephen G says, I know Matt Choi got caught in NW. I don't know what that is. Either last year or the previous. Not sure if it happened again this year. Not in something. So, sorry, I didn't know what that means. I switch up with my Spotify list if I'm outside. If I'm on the treadmill, I watch Star Trek. Not sorry, yeah. Whenever I'm on the treadmill, I do watch Netflix. Uh, and that's the one thing about on. I got a treadmill now. I'm loving it. And let's go ahead and stop about Matt Choi. If you guys in the comment section talk about Matt Choi, I will read them and respond. But we'll move on to my next topic, which is my training, because I am training for a 100 miler, the Rocky Raccoon. I'm doing the Houston Marathon, and my training this past 2 weeks have been going well. I got myself a treadmill. That's helping me get miles, because sometimes, I just don't want to go outside and run. Sometimes it's a little hot. Sometimes, it's dark. There's a lot of excuses, but when you have a treadmill at home, there's no excuses. You could just go on the treadmill and run. And I have been going on Netflix. There's a show that's on Netflix right now. It's about like Australia, outback, like ranchers and cows and all that. I've been watching that. I'm on like episode 3. So that's a show I'm going to watch only on Netflix on the treadmill, because I don't want to watch it any other time. So because it's a hour episodes. So that's perfect for me to get, like a 4 or 5 mile run. I'm slow, guys. I'm not no Matt Choi or anybody else, but I run about a 14-15 minute mile right now, just because I do want to practice running that pace for my 100 miler. I'm not about to go, 12-minute paces at the 100 miler anytime soon. So there's no point in me running a 12-minute mile right now. Let's get to the comments. Let's see. I know Matt Choi got caught up last year or the previous. Not sure if it happened again this past weekend in the New York. Yeah, New York Marathon. Matt Choi, he had a production team. He had 2 guys. I think one of them was his brother on e-bikes filming his entire race. Runners, some runners said they got hit by the bike. Some other runners said they couldn't get to the water aid stations because Matt Choi and his team was filming. And I'm sure, you're impeding a lot of runners whenever you have bikes and big cameras. They're not carrying GoPros. They're not carrying Insta360 cameras. They're carrying Sony A7 IIIs, like the one I'm filming on right here. That's good quality. That's what he wants in order to, have that footage. That's going to be like a 3-minute video on TikTok that's going to make him money. So that's what he got caught up in this time. Benjamin Lee says, what kind of treadmill did you go with? So I am a running influencer myself. I was sent a treadmill. I was going to get like their top end treadmill before. It was going to be this little slat style one, which had no electricity. So a really fancy one. And then they emailed me back and said, that's not available. Would I take the Soul 80, I think F80, which is like a $2,000 treadmill? I was like, yes, I will take that treadmill and I will run on it. I will do a review on it, and I'll do an honest review, because that's what I'm all about, doing honest reviews on these products. If they suck, I tell you it sucks. But this F80 one is freaking a beast. It holds up to 350 pounds, I think, and it's a wide treadmill where I'm feeling that I could run many, many miles on it. And I've broken treadmills before. This treadmill is a beast. So I get the Soul F80. I'll have a full review on that on my channel. But it's a nice treadmill. I'm looking at that one. It's really nice. Freight train running. Time on feet is more important than pace for most of us training for 100 miles. Yeah, 100%. That's what it's about. I'm not like for the Houston Marathon. I put videos out about the Houston Marathon, and people see me eating. People see me doing all that stuff. One of my videos got super popular because I ate throughout the whole race. Again, not impeding any other runners. I actually helped runners out on the course. And they're talking about my pace. They're like, oh, he's going so slow. He only finished in 6 hours. My whole goal is to finish the marathon in 6 hours at the Houston Marathon, because I want time on my feet, because that's more important than, doing a 2-hour marathon, which I can't do. I can't even do a 5-hour marathon, but I want to be on time on my feet, and that's important. So, being out there, having the time on the pavement, that's what I'm trying to do. Roro, from my understanding, he's done it multiple times. That's so sad. You can't argue he made a mistake the first time, but it happened multiple times. Yeah. like he just doesn't understand. He plays dumb. Like he's like, oh, I didn't know that running in somebody else's bib that has somebody else's name on it was a bad thing. Like if you are an influencer, he probably could have messaged the Houston Marathon and been like, hey, can I get a bib? If because there's no more bibs available. And if they said no, they said no. If they said yes, then you have a bib. But to take somebody else's bib is wrong. To race in somebody else's bib is wrong. And people that are casuals that don't really understand what it takes to put on a marathon, they're like, I'll just run the marathon bandit. I won't even put on a bib. I actually saw on TikTok they had a guy on the course. It was so like it was so it gave me so much happiness to see that there was a guy on the course telling people to get off the course that were abandoning the race. Like they had no bibs. So he was looking for runners without bibs on the course and telling them to get off. And he was doing a good job. So find that TikTok. I don't know where that is, but find that TikTok. Let me show you a little shot of what he was doing. So just because I did have this on my thing right here. So here it is. So y'all can see this is his film crew. That's his brother. This is other one, and you can see how like narrow the streets are, and they're taking up that much space. Look, that guy, he almost hit that runner right next to him, right there. Boom, almost hit that runner. It's ridiculous, ridiculous. That's what I'm talking about today. Is Matt Choi and all that. So Benjamin Lee says, nice, thanks. Yeah, that Soul treadmill, and from what I've done my research on about treadmills, Soul, it's a good brand. It's not as cushy as it's not as cushy as like a Nordic Track, but it's a solid treadmill. Like I feel like I haven't run in treadmills that much, but this is very similar to running on the roads. There's an F85 that actually has a decline. This one does not have a decline. This one only has a 15% incline. Actually, I think it's actually 13%. Let's go to the next one. Scott LaPointe says your live stream is blowing up. New comments record. Yeah, I know people are commenting, and I don't feel bad about doing like a Matt Choi video because I feel like if he was on the other side, he would definitely do one too. And this is something that needs to be talked about. Like you shouldn't be filming yourself. Be a good influencer. Like I feel like I'm a good influencer. Brands don't even see me. I do my thing. I filmed a ton of races. I have over 2,000 videos on my YouTube channel, and I film 100% of my races, and I don't impede anybody. I tell good stories, and if you watch, like if I had a film crew during my 100-miler, I wouldn't even want them to be with me the whole 100 miles. And also, they're actually pacing him too if they're biking him around in New York City. So not cool, Matt Choi, not cool. But anyway, my training is going well. Last weekend I did, how many miles did I did? I probably did 35 miles, which is good. This week is going to be a back off week. I actually was looking at my schedule and I saw that, remember I was worried about how my training is, I was behind. I was like 2 weeks ahead from what I thought I was. So I actually have 13 more weeks to train, which is still a little bit of time for the 100-miler, but not as bad as I thought I was. So I'm going to keep putting on these miles. The treadmill is going to help me get the miles in. I just went on a 6-mile run today. Tomorrow's a 5-mile, and then a 6-mile run on Thursday, and then 18 miles this weekend. So I will be having to get more miles in and slow miles. It just takes so long to run these miles. Like for 4 miles, it's an hour pretty much. So it takes a long time. That's why I try to get up early in the morning. So I want to get done before like 8. So I want to get up at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And if I'm going to be doing 20 miles, I have to get up early in order to get these miles because I'm slow. And that's what I'm trying to do for the 100-miler. Just get the miles in and keep going. I don't want to stop. like last time I stopped and I told you guys, if you guys, oh, I'm actually having a podcast about Jose Arroyo. He was just on the podcast. That'll be out on Monday, but that dude never stopped. He never stopped. He kept on going during his 100K, even though he had a ton of time to do it. He kept on going, and that inspired me to, whenever I'm at Rocky Raccoon, I see an aid station, get what I need, get out of there. Don't make it a point to stop and talk to everybody. Which I'm a friendly guy. I like to talk to people, but I just can't be doing that during my 100 miler because I am the back of the pack runner, and I can't be doing that. He had a term; it was the back of the pack elite. So I like that. I'm in the back of the pack elite. I'm gonna start using that. Um, oh, right here. Kevin Holgren says, "What training plan are you following?" My training plan is the same as last year. So last year I felt like I was pretty well trained. I obviously did followed it closer than I did this year, but um, my training plan is the same. It's the 50-mile week training plan for the 100 miles. So every week I'm trying to, I think the most I get up to is 60 miles, but pretty much averaging 40 to 50 miles a week on my training plan. And this training plan is just to finish. It's part of the book, uh, Relentless Forward Progress. So that's the book I'm following. Relentless Forward Progress. It's just about getting all the miles in and getting my feet and body used to it. Freight Train Running says, trust me, trust me, no wants to watch. Trust me, no one wants to watch my slow ass sweat for 100 miles. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. People watch my 100 mile video. If you haven't been on this channel before, check out Rocky Raccoon 100. Last year I DNF, spoiler alert, but check out that video. It's you'd be amazed about how many people you would inspire. But yes, nobody would want to watch me for the whole 33 hours. That would be just boring. Me like whistling in the woods, peeing in the woods. You don't want to see all that stuff. So just get the highlights, man. Like Matt Choi, you don't need 26.2 miles of film on you. He wants to capture every single moment. And like I said, every 2 miles of the marathon is probably all you need. If you watch Seth Demore, he's run races where he gets footage from his subscribers. They're out on the course filming him with their phones. He'll ask them to send that footage to him, and he'll make an awesome race video out of it. So if Seth can do that, Matt could do that too. Roro says, what brand would you recommend for running clothes in Florida hot weather? Run naked, run naked, run naked. The less clothes possible. So if Roro sounds like a female, run your sports bra. Run is in the minimalist clothing as you want, and lots of anti-chafing stuff. So anti-chafing stuff, run naked. That's what I do in the summer because I live in Southeast Texas. It's just as hot and humid over here as it is in Florida, I'm sure. And it's just unbearable at points where you're sweating just stepping out of the car. So run in as least clothing as possible. I don't have a brand. I'm not specific to any brand. I will mix up Nike. I will mix up Adidas or whatever. My choice of clothing is from Marshalls. So if you go to Marshalls and find out whatever clothing is the cheapest and looks the nicest, that's what I get. As long as it's wick proofing, that's what I try to get. So yeah, Roro is laughing at me and my comment, so that's good. So yeah, there's a lot of people here, 17 people. Matt Choi, you're not cool. Stop doing what you're doing and just go out there and make content and don't disrupt people. Don't be disrespectful to the sport, disrespectful to other people, other runners, and just be a runner first, be a content creator second. All right. So I think that's the biggest point. Be a runner first, be respectful to other runners, and don't do things that you wouldn't like. Imagine if there's two guys in two camera crews right next to each other. That would be a freaking mess. So be a runner first, content creator second. That's what I have to say to Matt Choi. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I've been on here 30 minutes. My voice is getting dry. I got to do some other things today, and I hope you guys enjoy that. Go out and vote. That's what I'm gonna do in a little bit, and vote for whoever you want to. I'm not gonna say who. Just do that and unsubscribe from Matt Choi. All right, guys. See you guys. Peace.